I watched some of the so-called press briefing in the Oval Office this morning with the toilet rat and the head of the European Union. Is that who it was? It's a wonder that Trump didn't compliment him on how well he spoke English. But anyway, Trump sat there and made a total ass of himself, as he usually does, blaming Russia's invasion of Ukraine on Biden. Trump just won't miss a chance to try to tear Biden down. And that's because Trump understands fully that Trump is 1/8 the man that Joe Biden is and was. And it's always a threat to the toilet rat. He knows that somebody much better at being a president was president prior to his second term. And the other reason he is a second-term president is, as we know, and I hate this, but it's the way it worked out, 7 million Americans decided not to vote. Right. Anyway, among so many of the ridiculous-ass statements that he made, and his three musketeers always sit there to his, I guess it would be to his left, to the right of the TV screen. But there they sat, his pet ape, J.D. Vance, this crazy little fucker, Marco Polo Rubio, who is Secretary of State. Can you believe that? And then last upon the couch was this blank-staring freak, alcoholic woman beater, Defense Department Chief Hegseth. There they sat, the three musketeers. And at the end of the couch, I noticed on a chair staring right at the president was Susie Giles, or is it Giles? I think it's Giles, who is the... I don't know what she does in the White House. I mean, I know, I can't think of it right now. I guess she's the chief of staff or something. What a group of miscreants and misfits and assholes. There they were. And I felt very sorry for the head of the European Union who had to sit there and put up with this shit. Over the weekend, the toilet rat made a total ass of himself at the FIFA championship when the soccer team that won was celebrating on stage. I guess because the event was held here in the United States, the president of the United States gets to present, along with the head of FIFA, this huge circular trophy. And when Trump showed up at the stadium, according to all the reports I've seen, he was lustily booed. I mean, so many people in this country just hate this son of a bitch. But if you'll notice, whenever he takes questions, he now has a hearing problem, as most of us do when we reach a certain age. And Trump is almost 80, so yeah, he has a hearing issue. So maybe he didn't hear the people booing. I could, just by listening to the video, the audio on the video. But anyway, after the event was over, this dumb asshole trots out with the head of FIFA to deliver the trophy to the winning team. And he was supposed to deliver it along with the guy helping him and then get the fuck out of the way so that the people who were involved in the game, who won the championship, could celebrate on stage and cheer and jump up and down and raise the trophy over their heads and pass it among each other. And the guy he walked out on the podium with, or the stage with, kept trying to get Trump off the stage. You can look at this video. I think CNN has it online. It's the most embarrassing thing. But Trump, with that grinning shit look on his face, wouldn't leave. And the players, the soccer, football players, whatever you want to call them, who were trying to celebrate their well-deserved win, kept running into him, and he wouldn't go. And the FIFA head kept reaching for him and trying to pull him off the stage. It was just... But there was Trump, all glassy-eyed, and I don't know, maybe he thought he was responsible for the winning team being the winning team. Oh, and while he was in the meeting this morning with the head of the European Union, Trump took credit once again for ending the war in, he keeps referring to it as the war in the Congo. Now, the war I think his addled little shriveled up brain is referring to is a war within the Congo that ended in 2003, I think, that went on for years. But, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. What he's referencing is the end of a conflict between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda that had been going on for a couple of years. And the prime ministers of those two countries finally realized that a war of attrition was not going to help either one of them. So they got together in D.C. and signed a peace deal, and Trump brokered it, and he promised both of them that he would, in exchange for their the minerals, the critical minerals that are needed for so much electronic stuff here in the country, that Trump would allow them to come to D.C. to sign off. But anyway, that's not the point. The story he was telling this morning in front of everybody was that he ended the Congo War where 70 million people had been killed. The population of the Democratic Republic of Congo is 6 million. So I don't know, and nobody does. Everybody was in that office or in the Oval Office while this insane press briefing went on, had kind of a look of huh on their face when he claimed that 70 million people had been killed, and thanks to him, the great peacemaker, apparently he sees himself, he now feels he's entitled to a Nobel Peace Prize, which the war criminal Netanyahu nominated him for. And it's really funny, isn't it? A war criminal nominates a convicted felon. Jesus Christ. For a Nobel Peace Prize. And I'm sure when Trump doesn't get it, he'll probably wander around the White House at night, shrieking at the portraits up on the walls about how Biden deprived him of a peace prize. I don't know. The man is fucking crazy. You want to know how crazy? One more story before I get out of this sewer with Trump. He told a private donor gathering last year that he tried to deter Vladimir Putin from attacking Ukraine by threatening Putin that he was going to, quote, bomb the shit out of Moscow. That's a direct quote. If Putin invaded Ukraine. Now, when we listen to the toilet rat constantly talking about the horror of Ukraine is Joe Biden's fault, it's just crazy. And I don't think most people realize, I didn't up until CNN put this up on their website this morning. This is what CNN said, quote, this is Trump, quote, with Putin, I said, if you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, you have no choice. And then Putin goes like, I don't believe you, but he believed me 10%. What the fuck? Oh. Now, this insane toilet rat also claimed he later relayed a similar warning to Chinese President Xi Jinping over potential invasion of Taiwan. And he said that he threatened Chinese President Xi, telling him that the United States would bomb the shit out of Beijing in response. And then Trump said of Xi, quote, he thought I was crazy, but we never had a problem, end quote. And when this shit is made public, the Christian fascists just sit around on their asses and say, well, this is what we have to deal with because, he allowed us to begin the process of establishing a Christian dictatorship in the United States. Wow. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. The Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, Always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.